Hi, welcome to The Watchers. We're The Watchers. I'm Victoria Burt with Killer Shot Films.
And I'm Kevin Marable with blackscript.com.
Hi, Kevin. Good to see you.
What's going on, Victoria? It's been a
It's
while.
it's been a while. We had what I can only describe as the blizzards
Yes.
of 2026,
Trying
and
to survive the blizzards, the
get
snow.
through January and February, and so we haven't been able to connect. And even though that seems counterintuitive, because I was stuck in the house and you were stuck in the house, but just life was lifing.
Yes.
And we couldn't really get together, and we didn't really have Not for Nothing, but we didn't, despite our I'm sat for some of the films that came out in January and February, early February. We didn't really have anything I didn't have anything that really motivated me that hardcore, but then
No. And because of the weather and, as you said, life is lifing, things kind of got in the way of some certain things, but we still managed to make it out for a movie that we were dead set on.
Dead set on. All right. So before we get to it, we're going to be talking about Scream 7 today. Okay. But if you get a chance, please think about going to our Patreon and give us a little follow. Just give us a little support over there. And you can also go to our website if you'd like to watch some of the past shows. We had something pretty fun happen. We went from a small but powerful following of 14.
Right. It like exploded overnight.
It exploded. So our movie tier did really well.
Yeah, it did.
Our movie tier did really well. And we're going to do the second half of that as the second half of the year really solidifies. But we should for sure talk about the first movie that got our butts into the theaters on opening weekend. And that was Scream 7. Some of the other movies that we talked about but didn't go see. Send Help, I didn't get to see, so I'm waiting for it to stream. Mercy, I streamed, and we're going to save that for another pod, right?
Yeah, I saw that too. Yep.
Yeah. We did watch some really great shows, which we're going to do another pod about. And but let's talk about Scream. You want to tell me who's in it? And even though I'm obsessed with the series, so
right. I mean, we all know who's part of the main cast, but I'll go through the list anyway.
Yeah.
And we'll start with the legacy and returning characters, being Neve Campbell as Sydney, Courtney Cox as Gail Weathers, David Arquette as Dewey, Matthew Lillard as Stu Mocker, Jasmine Savoy Brown as Mindy Meeks Martin. She's a returning Core 4 survivor.
Core 4.
Yes, Core 4.
Core
4. We have Mason Gooding, who is Chad Meeks. And then we have some new and supporting characters. Isabel May as Tatum Evans, Joel McHale as Mark Evans, Anna Camp as Jessica Bowden, McKenna Grace as Hannah Thurman, Asa German as Lucas Bowden, Celeste O'Connor as Chloe Parker, Sam Reckner as Ben Brown, Ethan Embry, doesn't have a role listed, but shout out to Ethan Embry, whoever you are. And last but not least, Mark Consuelos as Robbie Rivers.
All right. So do you want to read the plot? Do you have the plot up, or do you want me to read the plot? Or
I did not have the plot up, but I feel like we all kind of know what Scream is about.
Was there a plot?
No.
Okay. So let's lay it out on the table.
Yes.
For when we did the tier list, I was sat for this movie.
Yeah.
Day one. Like, I actually had tickets to go
early
for the fan event. Yeah. For the fan event.
You were earlier than I was.
And I had actually secured 2 seats. And then canceled the second one.
Uh-oh. What happened?
I went to the first one.
Oh.
And it was so bad. Like, I can tell you, I was so deeply disappointed in this movie. What did you think of it?
The movie itself, man, I'm not going to lie to you. I snoozed a couple times.
You fell asleep.
and I went midday. It did not keep my interest.
Do you know when you fell asleep?
There were a few times, to be honest with you. And I really wasn't that tired. I don't know what happened, but
Oh
um,
damn!
this movie did not do it for me. I tried, I still sat through it. I didn't get up and leave and all that. I paid for my ticket, so I figured out I sit through the entire film and watch it. But the plot was horrible to me.
That's
Uh,
why I wanted to read it, because I was really curious
yeah,
to see what they. I'll tell you what. How about this? How about I tell you what I think the plot is?
please do, and I'll look up the plot
Okay.
while you do that. Yeah.
Okay. So the plot in my mind was Sydney Prescott is now living her life in Pinewood. Is that what the name of it is? Pine something.
Um,
Um,
it's Pine something.
yeah. With her husband Mark, who was recast. It's the same character, but recast from the original actor who played it. There are three children, but uh, two of those children are plot devised away at grandma and grandpa's,
Right.
and she is once again faced with Ghostface coming after her and her family.
Yeah. Do you want me to read what's
No,
in?
no, let me see if there's anything else that I'm trying to actually, not story, just plot. I'm just not the
Yeah.
story, right?
I just pulled the log line. So
Oh God, what is it?
it says when a new Ghostface killer emerges in the town where Sydney Prescott has built a new life, her darkest fears are realized as her daughter becomes the next target.
But she was the target.
Yes. And I feel like this log line kind of gives away
The
the
whole
story.
point.
Yeah.
So there are going to be spoilers in this, because I don't think there's a way to really adequately describe the level of what the fuck
Right.
about this movie.
Yeah.
I almost did a TikTok, and literally I might post it today, because I was like, give people time. Maybe somebody will like this. And I left the theater. I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What was that?
No.
I love to go by myself. So I went by myself.
Same. I do
I
the
was
same thing.
sitting next to two people.
Mm-hmm.
The theater was crowded, and I was sitting next to an East Asian guy.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point I just turned to him and I was like, what is happening? Like I could not believe how stupid the characters were,
Yeah.
right? How then just disjointed the story was, and misuse of characters. And all right, let's just take it from the top and just break
Yes.
it down.
Let's
Okay.
go. Let's do it.
Listen, let me just also say that I love this franchise. Love this
Right.
franchise.
There's a lot of diehard Scream
Yeah.
fans. People showed up in my theater, Scream merch. They had the merch on. Some people
Yeah.
had Scream blankets with Ghostface on it.
Oh,
You know,
okay. That's
um,
cute.
I think people were ready to see
To
this.
love it. I was ready to love.
Yeah.
Listen, I love Scream 3,
Mhm.
which people hate, right?
Really? Okay.
I don't know why. I really liked it. There isn't a Scream. There isn't a Scream movie before this one that I didn't like. I
Okay.
didn't all think they were the same,
Right.
but I didn't dislike any of them, and I would watch them sometimes, just like go on a little run and watch them.
Sure. Yeah.
This was actually terrible.
It
This
was.
was actually terrible. And okay, okay. So if I'm gonna think about some good points,
Hmm.
and there are a couple things that every Scream movie has to have, right? And one is, at the end there's a reveal. At the beginning there's a opening murder.
Yes.
Okay, so this movie, following tradition, has the opening murder, which
Yes.
was great, right? The house, the original stew house, the mansion,
Mhm.
being used as an Airbnb for true
Yeah.
crime murder freaks like me. I would go there, right?
Okay. Okay. I don't think I would make it.
I would go. I would. I would go there, and I would go to the Twilight house.
Oh yeah. See, you're crazy. I
I'm
couldn't
crazy.
do it.
But the Twilight house is just I know two people who went there, like, just to stay as an Airbnb, to stay in the town that it was in. It's
Mhm.
not scary. It's just
It had to be broad daylight, windows, curtains open.
okay. Fair. So I thought cute. And those characters were a little buffoonish, but That's usually what they are, right? If you think about
Yes.
right to Jada and all the subsequent opening
Right.
kills, the people are a little over the top.
And
They're
it's always meant to be when you're watching it as the viewer, you say, "Don't go in there. Are you stupid?" Or,
right.
"Don't do X, Y, and Z."
This one took it a little to the nth degree, right? There was like a couple times, oh boy, went forward when I was like, what are you doing? Like, I
Right.
did like the little animatronic scream,
Yeah.
that was clever,
Mhm.
right? So
Mhm.
that was fun. And then, the kill, let's talk about the big kill of those two people. He gets killed, honestly, so forgettably, I don't even remember how.
He gets killed, you don't remember how? I believe he gets stabbed in the back. I believe he
Yeah.
gets stabbed
I
in the
mean, I'm
back.
pretty sure he got stabbed because the guy has a big knife, but
Yeah. I wanna say he comes out of the darkness, scares her,
and that's it. Yeah, and he just gets stabbed. So not too thrilling.
either the front or the
But
back, but yes.
she has the whole thing where she's hanging on the chandelier,
Mhm.
very War of the Roses,
Mhm.
and then falls on the knife,
Right.
right? Falls on the knife. People are really resilient in this
Which
movie, by the
all
way.
of the yes, they were, and all of that was kinda predictable for me. I was,
Yes,
trying to figure out how it was gonna all play out, but you could figure it out before it happened.
yes,
Mhm.
100%.
Mhm.
And she dies, and then he stabs her, and then he burns her, and
Yeah,
then he burns down the house.
right. And I don't really understand the messaging of that.
Why?
Yeah.
Right. I was like, why did he burn down the house? This wasn't even anybody, again, spoiler. This
Mm,
is not even somebody connected to the story, the house, the town, or anything.
at all. I was thinking to myself, where are they burning down the house to signify starting a new chapter in a new location and not counting that location ever again because the house is now gone?
I mean, maybe it didn't make sense because if you think about it, the guy, um, I mean, you honestly don't even. Obviously, it wasn't okay. So, okay, I'm gonna say spoiler one more time. So
Spoilers throughout this
the
entire
whole thing is spoiled. She's spoiled. She bad milk. Okay,
yeah.
so Allie and the two other killers, right? So the first killer, who I think is this guy in the opening number, but opening scene, but you don't
Oh,
really even know. But it's
no,
not her
no.
because obviously, there's a couple things that the killer does that take the physical strength of somebody who can lift a human being or do
Now wait a minute though,
what?
because there were several times in this movie I said to myself, "Come on now." And then
What?
once they did the big reveal, I really said, "You gotta be kidding me." Because of
What? Like when he lift the guy, up and
yes,
put him on the
all
spike?
the things that Ghostface was able to survive
Yeah.
in every scenario,
Hmm.
it did not scream to me that
Some 50-year-old guy who worked in a psych ward.
well, not him, but the
Her,
partner. There
Allie.
was again spoilers. There's two Ghostface,
There's
uh,
three.
three. Yes, yes.
Okay. First
Uh,
guy, just the crazy guy.
mhm.
Second guy, the head of the psych
Psych
division.
ward,
And
right?
then the third was the the the
The
mom from next door.
yeah,
What? Okay. So all right. Okay. So it starts out with that, and then they're dead and it's burning. I mean, I did like the imagery of Ghostface walking away from that. Okay, but
mhm,
in fire, and I thought, all right, it's not great, but okay.
right.
Um, then we go to Sydney, and she's wherever, and she is living her happy life. Has a little coffee shop, and her daughter is a fucking annoying.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. They can't communicate.
Typical teen. Typical
I
teen.
mean, you have a teenager, right?
Yeah.
Are they that annoying?
In some cases they can be, but I not like how they push it to the extreme in the movies.
Yeah, I was like, God,
Yeah.
deuce.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what made her annoying, but just like, well, first of all, it started out with the guy crawling through her window, the boyfriend.
Right, which
right?
in 2026 or what I don't know what year this is set at, but in
Hmm.
2026, who doesn't have a screen on their window?
Okay, facts. I didn't even think of that. I live in an apartment.
Yeah, I'm not
But
opening my window with
mosquitoes,
a screen.
hello.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's so funny. That's such a person who lives in the suburbs, right? Me, I didn't even that didn't even cross my mind. That didn't
I
even
was
cross
I
my
was analyzing the mess out of this movie.
because you were bored because you didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so the the boyfriend comes in, but here's the thing: nothing felt original,
No, not
as
at all.
opposed to being meta or being like an homage or feeling like connected or a
Right.
thread. It felt
Cliche, too cliche.
cliche,
Yeah.
rote, and redundant, right? So he
Mhm.
climbs in through the window. Think about this: one, two, and three were the first trilogy, right?
Right,
Four already repeated some of the things from
right.
one. Five already, like they've already done this. So
Yes.
now to have her boyfriend climb through the window, it's like, what? At
Mhm.
what point does this get tired
Right.
for these characters,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And you know, especially when your mom is a security freak, you don't think she's gonna have a camera? Come on.
So she didn't have any cameras there, but
She
in
had them in the on the exterior. That's how
yeah.
she knew he was in the house.
Well, that and they probably heard, the bump from him falling on the floor like they typically do when they climb through a window. To me, a huge problem uh, is the fact that this is your daughter and she
Yeah,
knows nothing about you. I get
that's
that.
weird, right?
Yeah, I get that she's a teenager. She's annoying. She's bringing up subject matter that it might be tough for you to talk about, and you don't want to talk about it. But the way that it's written, it just alludes to the fact that like these two don't know each other
Right,
whatsoever.
right. And
And
that's their oldest kid, right?
yeah,
So how do you prepare somebody to be tough without telling them why,
right.
right?
Hmm.
Makes no sense. Like if I was attacked, not once, not twice, but
Hmm.
thrice
Yeah,
by strangers, then fourth time by my cousin,
right,
right?
right.
Then fifth time by old guy. I don't remember who the heck was in the fifth movie.
You
And
would think,
you would think you'd be like, okay, we're gonna be like it would have been so much more interesting had she been a
like
security freak,
prepped and
right?
prepared for this,
Right.
and then something happened.
Suspicious,
Yeah,
not gullible and naive, and actually kind of not too bright, in my opinion.
right. Like, how
Right.
many times do you have to go through this to realize,
Right. What?
like, I need to protect myself
uh,
at all
yeah.
costs? Yeah.
So she goes to the coffee shop, and I honestly don't remember how she finds out. Does this Ghostface just call her first? I forget. I almost should have gone to see it twice because that's how ridiculous of a.
No, she goes to the coffee shop. She makes a coffee for a guy named Kurt, I want to say.
One of the Ghostface.
Yes, and
Yeah.
then they have like, a quick
He does
little,
he does an evil mug.
yeah, a little
Could
long
you be
stare at,
more,
yeah.
you
And
know?
and and so like as a viewer, you're like, okay, keep an eye on this guy.
Well,
This guy,
oh gosh, my computer. Every time the killer showed up,
mhm,
I said, "Oh." Every character,
right,
because when the guy showed up in the coffee shop, he mean mugged her,
right,
right?
right,
Then Allie shows up, and she's too big a star to just be playing the mom. So I was
right.
like, "Oh, she's
And she's too little, too chipper, too happy to,
right,
have
like it's a little too something a little too off, right?" But I thought maybe it was her and her son,
right.
right?
Hmm.
But then when the psychiatrist guy or the guy in the psych ward popped up, I was like, "Oh, it's him."
Hmm.
I was just like, maybe they're gonna do four, you
Right.
know. It was really so bad it almost makes it hard to talk about because
Yeah.
there were no moments that I can even anchor. So she gets the call from Ghostface and she immediately goes running,
To the
right?
Right. It was
To this
during
right.
rehearsal of a play,
Right.
high school theater, which their theater was a little more advanced than high school theater to me.
But why did we even need any of that?
I, and what was why are
Well,
they
it felt like an homage to two,
and why are
right?
they even going after any of these other people?
Right. What they do.
Nothing.
Right. So, so like in two, there's this, the theater group and the play. So that was the sort of like, I felt like I was like, oh, we're doing this again. Do something different.
Yeah.
Do something different.
Mm-mm.
Right. So, you kill a couple of people. So I don't know about you, I got attached to nobody because
No.
they didn't even give us a chance to sort of like
Get to like
care or right. And they kill a couple of two people, right? And then they go. I don't even remember if she was attacked in that scene. If anybody was attacked in that scene, right?
Besides the people that got killed.
Besides the people got killed.
And then, Ghostface
Sydney
disappears.
comes in and starts shooting, right?
Right. Ghostface
can't land a shot.
Right. And then all of a sudden, the first people that appear happen to be, besides the cast that are rehearsing, happen to be, certain parents that, how did, when did they hear about it? And they were able to get there that fast. And
yeah. And he runs outside. And then I did think this moment was smart. He got hit by the car. Right. Yes. I liked that. I thought that was fun. I was like, oh,
yeah.
Okay.
That was something you didn't
that
really.
Was different. Right.
You didn't see it coming. Yeah.
And that actually was a good moment. Like when he got hit by the car, I thought it was stupid who hit him by the car.
Right.
I thought the Core 4 and Gale Weathers, ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
They're interning for a former reporter who's no longer a reporter for the morning show. These are grown-ass people.
Man.
Last we saw them, they were in college.
Right.
Now they look like straight up adults, first of all. They no longer look like college kids. So I don't actually know. I mean, it had to be long enough that they were no longer,
in college.
Or they were really stabbed. Like they were really hurt in the last movie.
Right.
So it had to be enough time that they are able to like do things.
Mm-hmm.
And that pair is the most also resilient. It's almost a joke now. It's a joke. They're not even, it's become a stab movie. It's not even they become stabs.
Literally. Yeah. I don't know.
And then they reveal the guy, and we don't know who he is, right? Except that she saw him.
The little the guy that got hit by the car, right?
That got hit by the car. I liked that. I thought that was cool. But then it wasn't anybody and then Gale Weathers convinces her to chase down the psychiatric ward. It was feeling like Halloween in that space, right?
Yeah.
Halloween was the one with the guy.
Homage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of seeing? What did your theater do when Courtney Cox showed up, and what was your theater reaction like? We had some clapping.
Yeah, my theater was pretty quiet throughout, I would say. I think people were, there were a few, little bit of excitement, but nothing, over the top or loud or, a huge eruption. But you can hear some people, some murmuring in the background, like, oh, there she is or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at this point, it's got to be expected.
Yeah.
And I knew some of these people were coming back. Maybe that's because, I look into this stuff.
Yeah.
Time, but nothing really stood out or surprised me about it.
Well, I mean, I knew obviously, and we forgot to mention at the top that Stu called her on a FaceTime, right? So
yes, and
they were playing with that.
Yes,
right?
They were off guard because he's supposed to be dead, and
And I mean, that's so meta, right? Because that's everybody's like, all the fans are like, he's not dead, he didn't die, whatever, and then there are people are like, of course he's dead, right? So I thought that was nice. I liked it,
I didn't know where they were going with that.
Yeah, like I was like, what? Like,
especially,
I mean, it felt like AI too. It didn't even like not look like AI. It looked like AI, right?
Right.
So, I don't know. It didn't. feel the way I thought it would feel watching this movie. So, you know, so now she's teamed up with Gail. They completely wasted the two core four kids,
Yeah.
right? Oh
Yeah.
God. Because all they did was hang out with,
Core four is?
yeah. Do you remember their names?
Yeah, Mindy Meeks is the character's name, but Jasmine Savoy Brown plays Mindy Meeks.
Yeah.
Chad Meeks, with a returning core four of those two.
Yeah, those two.
And
obviously because Melissa and Melissa got fired because she made comments supporting Palestine, and the production company fired her.
Right.
And then who was the other actress? Why am I
the one who played Wednesday on
why am I blanking? Gosh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I didn't have their names written down.
Jenna Ortega.
Yes.
Resigned from the production.
Right, because of
either to support. I mean, she's pretty much said she did it to support Melissa, and
absolutely.
You know, there was a lot of noise around people not going to this movie because of that.
Yeah.
And I still wanted to go see it. I wanted to support the people that, you know, worked hard on the production, but I do understand why people were, you know, some people were protesting the movie and things like that.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
All that being said, you know, I think they wanted to prove so badly that
it could still be done.
It could still be done, that they just failed.
I think because I think they were scrambling, and I think because they had already made an announcement, it was already greenlit. You know, whether Jenna Ortega and the other young lady
Melissa
was on board or not, I think it was just a matter of we still have to do something.
Melissa Barrera. You know, I'm going to take a moment here. Instead of ripping to shreds the rest of this movie, and stay with me. I'm going to skip over and go to the end. But before I do that, I was having a fantasy while I was watching this movie. And this is what they should have done. Okay. They should have not told anybody, but secretly got Melissa back to be the Ghostface.
Oh, that would have been great. That would have been great.
Because that was the cool thing about her character. She was flirting with insanity, right? Because she had stopped taking her meds, or her meds stopped working because her father, Billy, was showing up, right? Mm-hmm. And she was really into the killing, right? Mm-hmm. And possibly because Nev didn't show up, she might have gained some resentment towards her, and she might have had some anger towards her. And maybe she went into the psych ward, and maybe that's how she met the guy. Mm-hmm. Right? And I was like, man, that would be epic.
It would have been great if they would have just kind of veered off a little bit and then reeled it back in.
I mean, because they just went to people that made no sense.
Yeah, it didn't.
At the very end, do you remember? Just let's pop quiz, like Ghostface said. What was her reason for wanting to kill Sydney's daughter, Tatum?
You know, I don't know. I don't remember.
That might have been one of the spots you fell asleep.
It might have been. I do remember the tail end, but I don't remember what was said.
She said, because you wrote the book about healing and then went away and you were checked out. So I was going to kill your daughter so you could
come back to it.
What?
Yeah. Who?
What?
It made no sense. Yeah. None.
Who wrote that? I think the guy who wrote it was the guy who directed it.
A lot of people said that this was written by AI. They think it was written by AI, or it could have been written by AI. It gives AI.
You know what? I'm going to tell you something. I think AI is better than this.
In some cases, yes, because there were a lot of plot holes. There were a lot of things.
It made no sense.
Yeah.
Why are you running? Like when she's being chased towards one of the final scenes, and her daughter. First of all, where were the cops?
Yeah.
Okay. Where were the cops? Were there only two? There were only two cops. I mean, the town was on
movie.
Right. The town was on shutdown. So that was the whole Halloween of it, her running from place to place to
I
place.
think they needed to figure out how can we do this without having so many extras. we need to figure out how to cut budget. Let's make this only happen with our key cast,
It was
our key
terrible.
castmates, and a dead town.
It was terrible. It was terrible. Like, you know, the last, like, put it in her house. Make her have a 12-acre farm. Make her, you
Right.
know, like, if you don't have her running through the town. Don't have her being in a like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, and when she's like, why is she on a phone?
I said in a previous podcast that we talked about Scream, we were anticipating Scream, and at that time we were just speculating what it was going to be about, and I say it would be great if they created a side story and it happened within the same timeline as, you know, Nev Campbell and all of that, but new cast members, because we were trying to figure out what they were going to do without Wednesday and without Ortega and Melissa Barrera. If they just brought in a new cast and Ghostface was still on a killing spree, and maybe Nev Campbell found out about it and went to go help them or something to that effect, I think that would have been great. Would have been something better than what they gave us. I think going after her daughter for no reason, no apparent reason, made no sense to me.
Especially since we didn't have an attachment to anybody. Like, her husband, like, how many times was he killed? Like, stab, wrapped in plastic,
Man.
right? Like a leftover burrito, wrapped up, right?
Yeah.
And then at the end, he comes out. I'm like, how is he alive?
Yeah. It was way. It just didn't make even the scene of all of that plastic hanging everywhere. It just did not make sense.
Look, it felt like it was like somebody saw Lethal Weapon 2.
Yeah.
That was what that reminded. I was like, oh, that's like Lethal Weapon 2. Where's the nail gun?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, nothing original.
No, I think
nothing original about it. And it was so deeply.
They should have just pushed it like they've done other movies where they pushed it back, gave it another year, you know, gave it time to develop.
And then the AI, remember, like, okay, so you have the Stu thing, then they show other characters.
Yeah.
So now you've blown, like, I get that we all know it's AI, but then they blow that even by showing the other characters.
Well,
right?
when the daughter discovers that the boyfriend or the potential love interest was creating these videos on green screen and making it AI or like a deep fake, you know.
He wasn't the one doing that though.
No, but he had it up on his computer.
He was showing that it could be done.
Right. Yeah. And he was trying to convince her that he wasn't the killer and he wasn't.
Right, because that's how you convince somebody you're not the killer, is create the thing that the killer creates.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
It didn't make sense. And then when she, you know, fast forward to the end when she's going through the house, and then every TV screen, including iPad screens and all of that.
How many TV screens are in the house?
And you can't make something appear on a screen like that.
It's not on. Like,
Yeah.
you can't just cast to just.
No.
You have to accept it. I was like, what is
Yeah.
going on?
Right. And just all of that just to lead to, you know, the backyard, their little
Like
courtyard.
Scream 1.
Yeah, their little courtyard area.
Mm-hmm.
And
then the guy is on the floor.
Reveal. Yeah, the big reveal.
Stabbed the father
a bunch of times. I thought he was dead. I thought he was long gone.
And he's been laying, bleeding out, right?
For hours.
Hours. We only have so much blood in our body.
Yeah.
He's not going to have the wherewithal to have the dexterity to pull out a switchblade and sneaky time cut the right.
Right. All in front of them.
All in front of the killer.
And
killers.
Right. For 10 minutes, Nev is looking at the killers, then looking down, then looking at the killers, then looking down.
Looking down, right. And they're babbling. I'm like, killers are just babbling, monologuing.
Oh, man.
At one point, I just looked around the room. I was like, this is wow.
Terrible. Yeah.
This movie's gonna make all its money from opening weekend.
Oh, it did. It's already breaking. My son told me it's already breaking records.
Yes, I did a post about it. Well, those are they had to get it in. They had to get it in before, because
But I also
once
think some of these announcements, could be a little wishy-washy, where you make the announcement to lead people on it, to make them believe that it's so popular.
well,
Like,
no, I'm looking at like Mojo box office. I'm
okay,
looking at like
I
the
got to run to
numbers.
the theater to go see it
Yeah.
because this is what they're reporting. But
Um,
Rotten Tomatoes said that it had the worst, the worst tomato
oh,
score
of course.
out of the franchise.
Well, nobody's at all saying that this is good. I have
Yeah,
not seen one person,
no.
But it's made. Wow.
Yeah, what did it
Box
bring?
office Mojo 60. I'm just talking domestic. $64 million. 64.
And they knew that. They I'm sure the projections, the fact that it's a big franchise, big name, they had, big time stars, people were ready to see them come back and see what was going to happen. I'm pretty sure that this was pretty expected. I think they probably feel in their minds, we just got to get through this iteration.
They made it back.
Yeah, we got to get through this iteration,
here's
and
the
then
best
we'll move
part.
on to Scream 8, 9, 10, maybe with new cast members.
Internationally, 33 million. That's not bad for a horror movie.
No.
So it's 97.2 worldwide. 97 million. It's almost cracked 100 million.
That's crazy.
For a bad movie.
Yeah, bad movie. And you know what? To be honest with you, I chalk this up to the writing primarily.
100%.
Not the actors. They did their job. They did what they were supposed to do.
Well, wait.
Well, okay, who didn't?
Let's not be that generous. I felt that the husband was just hokey.
Joel McHale.
Yeah, I felt he was not. Didn't feel like they knew each other. It didn't feel like a relationship.
The family seemed forced altogether.
I thought the daughter, and I thought Nev was good. Tatum, the character, I don't remember the name of the actress. I'm sorry. I felt she was good. I felt that Nev was good, but it didn't feel as natural as her other portrayals of Sidney Prescott. Like, it felt like she knew she was in a movie. That's what it felt like.
Like a shell of herself.
Yeah. And like, what, you're gonna pay me, I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna do this, but it just didn't feel the same, And I felt like the core four pair, while they were charming, again, just felt like they were just running lines.
Yeah.
And the other meat bodies, right, to be killed, completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
Completely irrelevant. I felt like actors were there showing up to say, oh, look, I'm in a Scream movie. It felt like, when you watch Law and Order and somebody's like, I made it on the Law and Order. That's what it felt like.
Exactly. And to their point, if this is like your big break, it is a huge franchise to be a part of.
I don't begrudge it, but at least the difference is with the first real reboot, which was 4, which was those characters felt like it was a real world. They didn't lose that feeling of you're in a real movie. In a real place.
Right.
The suspension of disbelief was still alive. Same thing with 5 and 6. It still felt like we were in a real place.
Right.
This one didn't. Nothing felt real. Nothing. Everything felt like a set. Also.
Yeah.
Like, one of the things that I thought made 6 so good was they didn't shoot that in New York, but it looked just like New York City.
It did, and it looked believable. And
it did, because I interviewed the guy who played her boyfriend. You didn't know. I'm sorry he didn't get to come back. I said, where did they shoot that? Because that bodega, because he was from New York, he was a New Yorker. It was like, that wasn't. I think he said Toronto. I think they shot that.
Wow, which makes sense. They shoot a lot of things. Toronto and some other areas for the tax breaks.
So the box office, $45 million budget.
Wow.
So it's,
Wow.
it's
It's already
good
profitable.
for them. Good for them. Like I'm never going to be mad at a horror movie doing well, and listen, I'm super forgiving of things like this.
Mhm.
They get one time.
Yeah, yeah.
They get
I
one
and
time.
I feel like it was starting to come back around in Scream 6 to where it could go on and become something that lasted longer, but I feel like they dropped the ball here. They missed the
They
mark.
dropped the ball. They
Yeah.
should. I thought they were also hinting that Courtney Cox could be the killer,
Mhm.
right? That
Mhm.
would have been outrageously
That would
good,
have been good.
right?
It would have been at least some things to talk about, to say that I'm excited about this part, or but it didn't deliver on
And
any front.
and her motivation.
Right.
You didn't show up last time, and Dewey's dead,
Yeah.
and I've lost my mind.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not saying it would make a lot of sense, but maybe,
Right.
it makes more sense than the random neighbor mom
Yeah. I didn't get
and the
that.
guy from the psych ward and the crazy guy from the psych ward. And like, what? What? You
I don't
know?
know what they were thinking. I don't know.
Um,
I feel like they had a original script, and when the other characters didn't
and they
want
just
to.
started to tweak. They started to just tweak. Um, okay, let's fantasize for a second. What could they do for the next round? Um, Somebody big has to die.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
They can't continue. They
they
can't
can't
continue
continue.
on.
They can't.
No,
No.
I honestly feel I'm gonna stand on this hill. Honestly, feel like it needs to be a whole new revamped cast. Sure, we can have some returning
Hmm.
cameos, something like that, but it needs to be a whole new cast. Wipe clean, start for a new generation. In my mind, that's the only way this is going to work, and bring in new motives as to why these people
Okay,
are killing.
so that's interesting.
You can even go the route of somebody who's a fan of the original killer that just wants to continue on that legacy
Well, what do
because
we know about Billy? Do we know anything about Billy? We know his mother's dead
Mhm,
because she was the killer, right?
mhm.
Spoiler in two. Um, did he
It
have a
has to be,
brother?
yeah,
Did
it
he
has
have
to
a
be
brother? I
it has to
mean,
be a motivating factor for sure.
they have to be connected to the original cast,
Mhm,
or or 5 and 6 cast, right?
mhm.
But what I think they also tried to do, which was kind of annoying, was they tried to meta. Oh, you didn't show up for the last thing, and they tried to take swipes at 6 and
Yeah.
take right. And I was like, that's not necessary. People liked those movies, like
But maybe they're doing those swipes for a reason because, to kind of downplay 6 because of, those characters aren't coming back.
okay, but
I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, so here's another thought. Let's just play imagine for a second that Courtney Cox was Ghostface. This is
Mhm.
crazy. Okay, but let's say Courtney Cox is Ghostface, and Courtney Cox and some hot man she enlists, right? She enlists, right?
Mhm.
Remember she had that really hot black guy, or she was dating that really hot guy,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And he got killed real quick.
Of course.
Of course. um, so if it was, let's say after the trauma of 6, they all are furious at at Sydney Prescott,
Right.
and they went after her. I don't know, but like that would make more sense to me if I just think none of those actors would be willing to play the villain,
Mhm.
and that would be the problem.
You mean willing to play the villain moving
None of
forward?
them would be willing to play Ghostface.
Yeah.
Like none of them would be willing to, you know, um, break bad, right?
Yeah.
But that would be my fantasy that Gail Weathers killed the characters from 5 and 6, right?
Mhm.
Killed
Mm.
the sisters, right? You could even have some sort of like not a deep fake, but like a brunette back. You don't see their faces or whatever.
Right.
They
Yes.
could kill them at the top. Like you want to kill them, right? I don't know, something.
But that creates the motivation, and then they go from there. They move from there.
I'm deeply sad.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know where they go from here. I think they need to wipe the slate clean.
Is there anything that you liked?
Start fresh. So I will say, yes, there were a few of those kill scenes, like a little bit of the gore, even though I don't do a whole lot of horror and all of that. They did take it there. Especially
you didn't notice in the kitchen how it was like Jurassic Park. Everything was stolen from something.
Yes, absolutely. But propping the head onto the,
it looked terrible though.
It did. But do you see that when the eye turned?
No, it did look terrible. That's not how this is hard.
Yeah.
It's not gonna.
Right. It's not gonna go.
Stretch.
And it's not gonna go softly. You're right. You're absolutely
like, right. What is that?
Yeah. There was something.
And else. You know how hard, how heavy it is to lift somebody who's dead or dying. Dead weight is not. First, let me just clarify. Not that I know. Okay. But
I've been a pallbearer.
Okay. Yeah, like to lift that. That's when I knew that wasn't a girl or woman, right? Because nobody could lift that body up onto that spigot. A man has to do that. And maybe somebody who works in a psych ward could do that because you have to lift patients and stuff like that. But still, that's really heavy.
Yeah.
And then the CG wasn't great. And then, yeah, I was disappointed. What else did you like? So you liked the killings, some of the killings.
Yeah, that was really the main thing, honestly.
I have something I liked.
There were a lot of things I was throwing my hands up at, but go ahead, please.
I thought it was okay. So, first of all, I liked her having a panic room, but then she left.
That was cool, but yes,
okay. But then she left the panic room.
Way too quick.
Okay, left the panic room. Had a gun, rarely used it. Okay. Left the panic room in a matrix, because that was the matrix, right? In between the walls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those walls are too thin too, man. Come on.
Like, what? First of all, you built those, obviously, because that doesn't exist in.
Where was the insulation?
Well, I think that was built into the panic room, right? Then why not build a real walkway that you can walk like a normal person? Why you gotta shimmy on the side?
Exactly.
Right?
You're in this big steel room, and then you leave that to quarter-inch thick.
I thought the idea of them being trapped in between the wall and the knives stabbing was good. Not original, but it was good.
Yeah. I thought it was smart when she bent the knife, and then
that was smart.
Ghostface went to look for something else and found the
poker.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if that's what that technically is called.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. Anything else?
It was a lot. It was too much bad, man. Yeah.
No, I can't think of one thing.
No, the fight scenes, I was mad about that. When Ghostface would get stabbed, it wouldn't kill Ghostface. Ghostface gets shot. It wouldn't kill
shot.
Ghostface gets hit in the head with a fire extinguisher.
So now we've established that the shield is titanium.
Come on.
When did that happen?
Yeah, never.
Right? That was the great thing about Ghostface in 1 and 2. He would get knocked down. He would get punched. He would fall over. He was a little bumbling.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I guess in the world of horror, the person that's killing you or coming after you is the hardest person to defeat. Freddy and Jason and all, but at that time we viewed them as monsters or not subhuman, but they were stronger than the average human. Superhuman. And so, a lot of things would just bounce off of them. They were hard to kill.
But see, the thing was, they didn't start like that though.
No, but
Jason and Freddy didn't start like that. Freddy was, because he was in a dream.
Yeah, right.
But Michael and Michael Myers and what's the old guy from Friday? Jason, right? Mm-hmm. They were regular until they then, until maybe, it went left.
Right.
But these are not the same killer coming back more and more superhuman. This
Right.
is like a new dude every time.
And these are regular people under these
Right.
costumes. Yeah.
Right. Under these, like, I want whatever that cloak is made of.
Exactly.
And where's everybody getting these cloaks from? You think whoever's making these cloaks and these masks will be like,
Right.
somebody just bought a Ghostface mask.
The whole outfit. Like where
are they getting them
she
from?
She moved to a whole new location. And these people had brand new Ghostface.
Shimmery ones. Pretty shimmery ones.
You never saw an ounce of blood. There was never any scarring. There was never Ghostface never got hurt. Even when they revealed themselves, they were never hurt.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And they, even at the end when Mindy and what's the guy's name again? Chad meets.
Mm-hmm. Chad.
Meeks. At the end, they're like, we're not hurt. We're okay. They were making fun of it, right? They were making fun of it. Yeah. And I was like,
really they tried to inject a little humor in there.
It wasn't funny.
No.
Right? No. It wasn't funny. All right.
I'm sorry. I know you were
so sad. I was so sad. I really was. And you know what it reminds me of? If I were to think about disappointing moments in the theater, it reminds me of Star Wars, that when I went to see the first prequel. Right? And like Jar Jar Binks of it all.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, this is bad. This is bad.
Like, what's happening?
What's happening? You know, it's that feeling of like, I was so excited and you've just blown it.
Yeah. I don't think this is the end though.
No, they'll do another one because now they have to have a comeback. Right. I mean, look at it this way. If you look at the Saw franchise,
right,
the Saw franchise has some really low points.
Mm-hmm. But the thing, what makes it different with Saw is that they were ultimately, yes, you have the same character with Jigsaw and the guy who ends up.
He died.
Yeah. But every Saw it's like a new cast or new stories.
Yeah, for sure.
And so that helped carry it along the way. You can't have 7 iterations of this and expect all of these people to still be alive. No, you know, it's impossible.
Sydney should have died.
Yeah, it's impossible
to save her daughter.
Right, something. But all of that just, at the tail end to finally come out and say, this is what I went through. I could have just told you in the beginning.
I could have told you this 2 days ago. I could have just, Tatum, this is why you were named Tatum. And first of all, girl don't have Google. There are 95 movies made about this. She doesn't have Google. I mean, I know there's a difference, but her not knowing.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, yes. Like the house was even turned into an Airbnb.
Right. Like, see, then again, that would have been interesting if the daughter had been curious and investigative and a crime chaser, a true crime buff,
Right. You're actually creating the story right now.
Right.
It should have still involved the house. They shouldn't have burnt the house down. Maybe a new set of people go to the house because they're fans. That it's all decked out like the Airbnb. How the story starts, where Ghostface calls, and, hello, Sydney, or whatever.
But wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. You just brought something up. Why did Ghostface choose to kill those people? Was it just bad timing? Those random people at the Airbnb, just cause they were on the bad night?
I don't know.
Okay.
And was that the same Ghostface
that was the guy who, we don't really know technically. We just know it was one of the guys.
I don't know. There was no reasoning behind any of it. But had the daughter gone, maybe she went with a group of friends. So all new cast, group of friends. They go check out the house and they were like, this is where it all went down. And the daughter's like, I'm
gonna solve this crime.
This is what my mom told me, blah, blah, blah. This is all I know. But we're gonna spend the weekend here at this house. Yeah. And then maybe the mom finds out later that her daughter went to the house.
And that's how she has to go back to
There you go.
Right.
That's how
There
it
it
should.
is.
That's
That's
how
how
it
it should
should
have
play.
been. And if then that gives the daughter agency. It
Yes.
gives the daughter agency, right? She wants to solve the crime. She wants to know her mother. Her mother won't talk to her. She'll know her mother through her own means of investigative, and she
Right.
wants to solve the crime and figure out who. And then they could have been in the original town. They didn't have to be in this new town, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And the Ghostface's motive could have just been a fanatic of the original Ghostface or something of that effect. And whoever comes to that house gets murdered.
Well, I mean, I still think the Ghostface being some like, oh God, if it had been Melissa's character, that would have been
that would have been great.
that would have been insane.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it had been Stu, like I wouldn't have been mad if it had been Stu, right?
Really?
No. If Stu surviving the thing hit him, listen, we're already stretching credulity with people
True.
surviving things. So
True.
him surviving a TV hitting his head, crushing his head, you know.
Right. We've seen worse.
75 stabs, and they're like, I'm gonna,
Yeah.
if it had been Stu or if it had been Melissa, I can't remember Melissa's character's name, because she went bonkers.
Right.
That would have been outrageous.
Yeah.
All right, but let's say the producers were not going to work with Melissa again. Fair. It still could have been Stu. It still could have been Stu.
As long as the main storyline was different and they can inject these characters in some way, shape, or form, they could have had a stronger story.
But here we go. Stu comes back to his house. He sneaks out of the psych ward. Now we've got a little homage to Halloween. He sneaks out of the psych ward. He comes home. He finds it's a fucking Airbnb. He kills them. Now he's somewhere hiding somewhere, and he's like, "I'm going to get that Sydney." Now we don't even have to have, now the daughter wants to find out who burned the house, why, deep, deep, pop, pop.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
We just solved it.
That's it should have been a whole nother story. We created a story that is better than
less than an hour. We did this.
Right.
It's very disappointed. All right. Next we're going to talk about some other movies. Another movie that came out in last month, I think. And but in the meantime, please go check out our Patreon and give us some support. Give us a follow. Give us a like.
Yeah. Tell a friend. Tell a friend.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. Go to our website to if you want to know anything about us. And Kevin, I will see you again soon.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for watching, everyone. We're the Watchers.
See ya.